News Network. DXKD, Dipolog, Radyo Ronda. Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Kini ang RPN DXKD Radio Ronda 1053 kHz.
As a people and as a nation, we elect our leaders. We decide our future. And with less than a year till the Filipino votes again, it is politics as usual. The proverbial Pinoy pastime is what else but politics. We Filipinos love to talk about it, get in heated discussions about it, we get involved, get angry, but before we get too deep into it, just remember it is 2 weeks before certificates of candidacies are filed, a veritable fiesta, politics galore, posturing galore, forma galore, candidates accompanied by family, friends, and supporters, sometimes with a marching band as if it were a meeting de avance, and all they were going to do was file this, a sheet of paper, to make it official. Now in the next few weeks we're going to see two things happen, alignments made and battle lines drawn, and from there we get a pretty good idea of what the landscape is going to look like. Take note, I didn't say what it's going to be for 2022. Now somewhere in between, expect the mudslinging, the betrayals, digging up dirt where political opponents can find them, and this is why we are here. This isn't your typical talk show. More than talking heads, we will go deep. We're going to do a tabletop exercise of sorts. For this episode, this table is going to be our 2022 battleground. Here on this table, just at my hands, are printouts of the names and faces of every possible presidential and vice presidential candidate. We'll move them around the table through 3 columns: president, vice president, and senator. Just where do they belong exactly, and where will they end up? It is politics as usual. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Now, 3 subject matter experts on packaging candidates and campaigning for them are going to be helping me to do that, because the pandemic will not allow us to have all guests in the studio. 2 of them will join via Zoom on this screen. Greg Garcia and Alan Herman joining us via Zoom, like I said, and Mr. Lito Banayo, who's here in the studio. Now, Greg and Alan and Lito will be able to see, Greg and Alan via Zoom, of course, will be able to see the tabletop at all times. The camera above the table will make sure of that. Let's start with the president himself. Rodrigo Duterte, the runaway winner in 2016, started as the dark horse that came out from nowhere. 39% of the vote, 16.6 million votes. He cannot run for re-election, but could he, should he, would he run for vice president, for VP? The PDP Laban Kusi faction all out for a Bongo Rodrigo Duterte tandem. So we're going to ask first our guests, Lito Banayo and Greg Garcia and Alan Herman, what they think of this. Should he, could he, would he run for VP? Sir Lito?
Could he run? Yes. That is not prescribed by the Constitution. Should he run?
Even if it, some people say, in the spirit of the Constitution, pwedeng hindi na lang.
Hindi. Pwede yun. But yung should, I would normally, but that is a precedent. No? That's the first time it's going to happen. No? And it's quite unusual. I think it would depend on the dynamic within the family. No? Would he run? The same answer. It would depend upon he and Mayor Sara Duterte's conjoined decision, if there's going to be any.
We're going to talk about Sarah in just a while. Sir Greg, what do you think? Should he, could he, would he run for VP?
Well, let me just say that I think they are very politically savvy, okay? So they know what's in store, what's not in store, so I don't think he will run.
Oh, you don't think he will run? Alan, Herman?
Yeah.
I'm actually in agreement with both gentlemen. the spirit of the Constitution, first of all, has to be taken into consideration, not just the letter of its legality. If there is indeed a loophole in the Constitution that will allow him to run, the spirit does not actually permit him to run. If we're talking about the spirit of the Constitution, being that the Vice President is a heartbeat away from the presidency, and I do agree that there will be a step down later on. That is my belief, that the president will not go for it as well.
All right. Well, that is something to watch out for. And, let's do that tabletop exercise like I said we would. So, Rodrigo Duterte, let's put him here in the Vice President column. And since we're going to talk about this next, the Go Duterte tandem that the, Bongo, of course, the Go Duterte tandem that the PDP Laban Kusi faction wants to see or is suggesting. What do you think of that, Alan?
Well, right now, Senator Bongo's numbers are just really consistently have been low. He has spent some considerable money. It's clear, even on social media, that his promotions are in full speed. But survey after survey sees him stuck in this plateau. So the pragmatism of it is, I'm not sure if the machinery can carry the message and the man. Elections being a man, message, machinery, and money proposition. Definitely he's got the machinery. I think he has the resources, but I'm not sure that's enough to carry the man and the message.
Yeah, well, so Sir Greg Garcia, what do you think? Go Duterte.
I don't think it will happen again for a couple of reasons. Number one, they know the numbers, they have the numbers. And number two, it just doesn't make sense for them to do it. I mean, as simple as that. I mean, there's no sense.
But of course, there is also the Duterte tandem baliktad na naman ako. Daughter-father tandem, Sara Duterte and Rodrigo Duterte. Sara has said that she will not run since her father is running and that only one Duterte should run for national office. Dati nga, sabi ni Presidente na hindi daw pambabae trabaho ng Presidente. Pero nananapak ng sheriff yung si Inday Sara. Combo questions here for our guests. So, Sara, Roddy, tandem, si Sara, tatakbo ba talaga? Or, and then, for me, I'm just a bit curious. What a statement na parang she won't run because her father's running for VP. What's that? What's it mean? Na parang kung kailangan may isang Duterte na tatakbo for national position dito? Banana?
Well, in the case of Mayor Inday Sara, I think it's pretty clear she knows it won't fly. No, a Duterte tandem will not fly. The people will reject something like that. And I think the president is quite savvy politically also to know that won't fly. No? Hindi pwede yung ganong ginagawa sa isang probinsya o isang syudad, post mo sa national politics.
Okay. Greg Garcia, sir?
Yeah, I must echo what Lito Banayo just said. How can you go up front and say father and daughter will run for president and vice president? No matter how much the country loves the Duterte, especially President Duterte, they will just stop and say, wait a minute. Why should the father and daughter run the country? So that's fraught with danger talaga.
And Alan Herman.
Well, circling back to Greg's earlier point about the numbers, I'm sure that their teams also have sentiment analysis, what they call QSS or the sentiment numbers, and I'm sure that they are also cognizant of the fact that a father-daughter tandem won't sit well with a Filipino voter. That can be measured naman eh. And I'm sure that their numbers will validate the fact that hindi katanggap-tanggap sa Pilipino na father-daughter ang tumakbo na sabay.
Okay, well, since pinag-usapan natin si Sara Duterte, pag-usapan din natin yung supposed Sara Gibo Teodoro tandem that was supposed to happen. Kuno, according to Nonoy Andaya, sabi niya may announcement sa July. Sara Gibo, of course, like we were saying earlier, no, kung ano-anong, the horses are just getting ready for the race, kung ano-ano ang naririnig natin, and sometimes we don't know kung totoo na ba ito, but what do you think of this Sara Gibo tandem?
I love Gibo, but 10 years is a long time in politics, so I don't know whether people remember how great Gibo was, and how great Libo could be. I don't know. May kasabihin nga sa atin, no? Parang ano yan eh. Ang puto kailangan mainit. Pwede ba init yung puto?
After 10 years. And
Yeah.
even after you come in, what, number 4 ba siya? 2010, ano? Number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not,
yeah.
not very good numbers. All right. So Sara Duterte, Gibo Teodoro, let's also talk about the supposed, this was about 2-3 months ago, Sara Duterte, Bongbong Marcos supposed